Okay, so not a lot of people know this, but if you look at a chainsaw, usually there's a tag right here. It's usually green or yellow. There's two types of chains. Well, there's actually three because there's carbide, but that's another story. Most common things you're going to find is green chain or yellow chain. It's usually marked with the green being safety chain, is what they call it. Actually, there's a couple different names, but green chain is basically meaning low kickback, not as aggressive when cutting. You know, a lot of companies, tree companies, want yellow chains because they want an aggressive chain that's just going to rip through wood, as opposed to something with green chain like this one here. So usually the smaller saws are going to be green chain, and then the bigger saws are going to be yellow. And that's that's a very general statement, but it just gives you an idea that green usually means low kickback, more safety chain. Yellow means more aggressive. So what makes it that is that the chain here, as you can look closely, it has two rakers. Most chains only have one raker. So what that is this is a cutter here, and then this is a raker. These things are straps and rivets, whatever. The most important thing is a cutter and a raker. So as this saw is coming, as the chain is going around like this, right? What happens is the surface area, the nose of the bar is the most vital area for creating kickback, and that's what this brake here does. So when you hit something hard that you're not supposed to, the saw will literally go up like that. And when it does, the brake is supposed to protect you because your natural instinct is going to push forward like this. So when the saw kicks up, you're going to push forward and it's going to lock the chain, and that's what the brake is for. Okay, so what this is going to do is that as this breaker right here, depth gauge, whatever you want to call it, this front piece, it's going to touch the wood first, and then the cutter is going to do its job, with actually cutting the wood. If this raker is too high, the wood won't touch. So people don't realize this. When you sharpen a chain, as this tooth is being cut down, it actually goes down in height, and you can see that right there. So the cutter is diagonal like this. And what happens is nobody ever grinds these rakers down. And because this is what's setting, they call it a depth gauge as well, is because the more lower this is, the more aggressive it is, the more your wood chips are going to be actual wood chips and not sawdust. So if you're getting sawdust, you need to grind these down a little bit, but also if you're getting sawdust, it means your cutter's not sharp enough. So keep that in mind. So what happens is, as the front of the bar is the area of where it's more prone to kickback. And so as it comes around this curve right here, you'll notice that the two different areas of where the chain comes over, it's going to expand these two to where it's on the wood for a longer period of time. So you can see it kind of scissors off right here. And what's happening is, as it's coming over the front, it's more surface area that's touching the wood. So in between cutters is less of a gap because the raker is on the wood most of the time. So that's what makes this thing a low kickback chain, is because of the double raker right here. Because again, as it comes over the nose, it's going to be on the wood for a longer period of time. Let me see if I can get in here. So you can see it kind of scissor off right there, and that is what makes it and that is what makes this a low kickback chain. So we could talk about chain for quite a bit. There's quite a bit to know. I mean, not a whole lot, but there's quite a bit to know that a lot of people don't understand. But green chain is not necessarily a bad chain or anything by any means, but it's definitely not the chain that a lot of landscapers and people who cut wood for a living, it's not the chain that they want to use. But hopefully this video helps you and kind of helps you identify different chains. But yeah, so there you go.